We're having a difficult time predicting what's going to happen an hour from now or a day from now, but I'm going to have my friends from Rotoworld, DJ Shore and Drew Silva, try to predict something that's going to happen 4 months from now. That is, who is going to be hoisting the World Series trophy in Major League Baseball this year. 60-game season. They're going to try to get in a full postseason, just like we've had in the past. So let's start in the American League, Drew, and give me your teams that you think are going to advance to the playoffs from the AL.
In the East, I have the Rays. In the Central, have the Twins, AL West, Astros, and then the two wild cards being the Yankees and the Athletics. And I feel like I should have gotten weirder with these because this is going to be the weirdest season ever. I have the Rays winning the American League East with a total payroll of like $13 million on the prorated salary scale. But I mean, to me, that's not really a weird prediction. They won 96 games last season. I'll take the top three of their rotation against anyone. Blake Snell, Charlie Morton, Tyler Glasnow. Great talent in the bullpen too. Nick Anderson leading the way there, but they're deep in the bullpen and super dynamic offense with a lot of lefty-righty platoons that they can deploy. And Austin Meadows coming off his breakout 2019 season. I think he can challenge for AL MVP even.
What do you got, DJ?
Yes. I went with the Yankees in the AL East. I think maybe the Rays, as your pick, Drew, might be the hot take here, but I actually don't think your thought is crazy. When they released the 60-man player pools, I think the Rays had the best one. I think they have the deepest roster in the majors, and especially this year when it's going to be so unpredictable, I think that could really play out to their advantage. So I think that's a big plus. But I think this time off has been a positive for the Yankees, enables some of their players to get healthy. You know, James Paxton in that rotation, I think that's going to be big. They're not going to have Luis Severino, but Garrett Cole at the top of that rotation is no small thing, obviously. And time away for Giancarlo Stanton, Aaron Judge. Maybe they're going to be ready. Maybe they can stay healthy again. Only 60 games. Aaron Hicks coming back from Tommy John surgery. He'll be out there in the outfield. So I think the Yankees are going to be awesome, but I think the Rays will be right on their heels. I have twins in the AL Central, Astros in the AL West, Rays and Athletics wild card.
I was going to say, same teams for you guys.
Yes.
I got a sneak peek at them. Just a flip on the Yankees and Rays as far as who's going to win the division in the AL East. All right, maybe more disagreement in the National League. Drew, we'll start with you again.
I have winning the East, the Nationals, the Central Reds, West Dodgers, and then the two wild cards being the Braves and Cardinals. I think maybe the Reds to win the NL Central is a surprise to some, but I like their lineup. And, going back to the AL West, actually, I like the Astros. I like the A's a lot, but I like the Astros lineup so much better. It's probably the best lineup in baseball, and I trust good offenses more out of the gate, especially than I do pitching. And going back to the Reds, I think it's the best lineup in the division, or at least the deepest. They added Nick Castellanos and Mike Moustakas and Shogo Akiyama, and Eugenio Suarez should be fully healthy after undergoing surgery in January for his right shoulder. Joey Votto could have a bounce back in him. Jesse Winker, Nick Senzel, possible post-type breakout guys. And I sort of like their pitching too.
Yeah, they can pitch.
Yeah, Sonny Gray, Luis Castillo, Trevor Bauer should be better than he was down the stretch for them last year. And the bullpen's pretty good too. Raisel Iglesias, Michael Lorenzen, Amir Garrett. They added Pedro Strop, who could be better than he was last year.
Yeah, I actually have the Reds as my second wild card. I have the Braves as my first wild card. I have the Nationals winning the NL East. I have the Dodgers winning the NL East. I have the Cardinals winning the NL Central. But, Drew, we should talk about this. The NL Central is, I think, going to be completely wild. I don't think really any team has the advantage, but this is a year where I think the Reds can sneak through. I think all around they're probably the strongest team on paper, but it might not play out that way. I think depth is going to be a big factor.
Yeah, with the exception of the Pirates, I would say. Yeah. But hey, man, even in a 60-game season, they were in the hunt, close to the trade deadline last year.
Sure.
And the Mariners started the season 13-2 before finishing 68-94. But and it's going to be a sprint, not a marathon, as we keep saying. And the season will be 2 months, and I think any team is a potential contender.
There was a stretch for the San Francisco Giants last year. They were not a good team last year, but from mid-June until mid-August, I think, 37-23 for a 60-game stretch. That's going to get you in the playoffs if you can do that right at the right time
Anything
in 2020. Anything could happen. So what will happen when we get to the World Series, guys? Who's your World Series winner? Drew, we'll start with you.
Yeah, the Rays. I guess I wanted to be a little hot takey, but I don't know. With COVID spiking in Florida, maybe I need to change that. But no, I just think they're loaded. Like DJ said, I think they have the deepest player pool going into this thing, and you're going to have to dig into that player pool with injuries and possible diagnoses. And the Rays are just so dynamic. It's almost like they could field 2 rosters.
Yeah, and I have the Dodgers as my World Series winner, and I'm pretty sure I picked the Dodgers to win the World Series for like 6 years in a row, and it hasn't worked out. But sort of like Drew was saying with the Rays, I think the Dodgers have the deepest roster in the National League. So many different moving pieces, so many different options for their rotation that I think that will be a huge advantage for them. I think they'd probably be the favorites anyway if we were playing a 162-game season, but in this unique circumstance, I think they're by far the strongest team in the National League and best equipped to potentially win, if there are a lot of roster moves that need to be made.
So Rays and Dodgers, the 2 World Series winners. I think I speak for everyone when we say we hope we can get there as safely as possible. Absolutely. And see if you guys are correct. DJ Short, Drew Silva from Rotoworld. Thanks, guys.